There are plenty of things they don't tell you when you get into trading, but one thing I want to touch on is the ebbs and flows of success. First off, it's going to take probably a lot longer than you think or wanted to find success in trading, but that's all right. We could always shorten that learning curve, but even once you start to find success, the reality of it staying the same and cookie cutter, consistent throughout every single month is very, very rare. Let's take a look at the TradeZella here. This is not mine. This is one of our Blackstreet Club members, Troy, who came to us in the end of February, early March, so this is his first month with us. It's a really solid month overall, and yes, it's down $410, but you can see it's really that last day on the 31st, maybe full port in some accounts. But the one thing to look at, I guess, while we're on it, is way more green days than red days. So he was winning, or he was right more than not, but losing money because of that last week. But if you could win more times than not, but keep those red days small relative to the size of those green days, we should be in good shape. So you can see he has a minus 200, 400, $500 days. But he also has $400 and $500 days to make up for it. And obviously this last one red day is going to ruin everything when it's $3,000. And we don't have a single day of profit above $1,000. But that's not what this video is about. It's just the expectations of success, the longevity, all of that. But a really great first month, making the proper adjustments, knowing that we're doing something right, because we had 4 green weeks in all of March. It was just that last day of the month that something went wrong, but we're on the right track. Coming to April, well, now the red is completely gone. And this first week, or the last week here, was a trip to Italy. Because why not? Treat yourself. You're working so hard. You're doing so great. Go take a vacation. And I'm actually proud of him for not trading on vacation. We talked about him maybe doing it because he'll have some free time. But one thing is, why? You're in Italy. Who the hell wants to trade if you don't have to? When you're distracted, you're enjoying yourself, all the things you worked very hard for. Because you'd be super upset about a loss if you took a loss on vacation in Italy. Probably ruin your trip or ruin at least a few days of it, so probably not worth it. But let's look at the calendar here. Clean across the board. Lot trades per day, but some of them are on copiers to multiple accounts, so that's all fine and well. But healthy wins, healthy win rate, not overdoing it, and being content with gains. You can see there's some big days, there's some small green days, $1,000, $200, $300, right? But it's taking the green and running with it. Now, obviously, we can't keep that up forever. If you remember, if you've been with me for a while, in I want to say November, December, and January, and the early February, I didn't lose. I had 27 straight green days and 14 days before that of just straight green. Obviously, I knew that wasn't going to be sustained. It wasn't sustainable. It's very even unrealistic to attain that, but I somehow did through a lot of pickiness and hard work, all that good stuff. But I knew it was going to come to an end, so I couldn't let that one red day that was right around the corner let everything spiral. You're not going to be able to keep this up, although it is great. If we could just have, like we had last month, of healthy red days, we'll be in great shape because he could afford many red days in here as long as they were of healthy size. He's up $12K in the month. If we had 4 days of red at $1,000 each, we're still up $8K because we did so well on the days we were right and didn't lose too much on the days we were wrong. Coming to May now, still a solid month. We're up 1.6K, more green days than not. Again, more green than red, so we should be making money, and we are making money, right? The thing is, we're up 6 days to green, 3 red. But if those red days were 1,000 each, or 5, 6, 700, we'd be down. Just from those 3 red days being too large. But this is more so the reality of trading, right? Getting back down from this euphoria of holy crap, I can't miss, I'm on fire. Going back to, consistent wins, consistent losers. Let me just make sure those losses aren't too big. Not doubt myself. And the one thing I always say to people that have such great months like this, it's almost amazing because let's say he was hitting a rough spot in the month of May and questioning himself or losing confidence. I would simply just say, go look at April. You're fine. Don't overthink it. Don't get stressed out. You clearly know what to do. And you know what not to do because you did it well all month long in April, right? It's not like he did it for 2 days, luckily or fortunately. It's like, no, he did it for a long period of time. He was even doing it well in March. Did it even better in April. So in May, if we take a loss or two back-to-back red days, how many people would lose confidence, freak out, go on tilt on the 8th? But when you have this proof of concept and this backing, you almost kind of feel better about yourself of, oh, we're fine. We're in good shape. I know how to bounce back from this if I calm down, I go about my process, I know what trades are working, what trades to avoid. I should be fine. If I play for the long game, if I just play to survive by the 30th, I'll be fine. If I only have this 6th and the 7th in mind, and I let it dwell and just put too much weight on these red days, then I could have a really bad month. But let me just slow down. Let me just focus on the big picture. And he bounces back with $700, $300, $500. Those losses are now gone. We're back to back to back green weeks again. One thing I do want to note, not calling him out, not even looking down on him because I don't blame him at all. But if you can notice here on the TradeZella, not a single journal has been made. By journal, I mean the daily report cards that we do, these little squares up here, where we track our trades. We have markups of our trades. If I went on this note here, you could see tracking of his trades. There's the markup of what the trade he took. Those are his 4 or 5 longs. Okay, cool. That's what's working. That's what we want to keep on focusing on. Somewhere along the hot streak, they disappeared. So now we're no longer reflecting on our trading. So yes, we're winning, but how are we winning? What's working really well? We think we know in our mind, and clearly he still kind of does know what's working well because he continues to do it. But when we have this red day, well, why was it red? Was it maybe self-induced? Was it the markets? Was it both? What could I have done to get better? Well, who knows? I don't even know what trades he took on that day. Red or green, no one knows. So I think it's just important not to get lazy with it or even content. I don't think he was overriding confidence by any means of saying, oh, I got this all figured out. I don't need to do report cards. I know he's not thinking that way, but it is easy to think that way of, yeah, I'm doing fine. I don't need to do all that tedious grinding work that I was trying to do when I was figuring it out because I'm here now. I'm finding success. It tastes good. I'm fine. But you got to stay on top of your game, especially when the markets are changing every now and then. What's working well? What's still holding me back? What do I want to get a little bit better at each day? I lost $600 on these days. How could I maybe made it minus 200? Or could it have been green? Right? I took 15 trades. Yes, I won more than not, but I don't normally take 15 trades, right? The next day I took 4. What was the big difference on that day? But without proper journaling report cards, who really knows? So I think just the realistic expectation that we're always learning, always working, always wanting to get better too, right? Because he had a 12K month. That's great. I mean, I don't really know what he could have done much better other than just like size, because even like, look at the win rates, 100, 80%, 100, like he was winning almost everything he was touching. So there's not much he could have been doing better, but how do we make that a 15K month, a 20K month, right? Who knows? We have to go back into the data. But another thing of just these expectations, it's because the markets are also always changing, right? So April really gave into his edge, gave him great opportunities, but when things slow down, or maybe things don't play out as easily as they were, how do we evolve? How do we adapt? How do we know what to do next, where to lay off, so we could maybe have still really great green months, right? Especially as of lately, I've made plenty of video about it. Trending day, it's this choppy day that's very dangerous on the 13th. Do we even have that in here? I forget. On the 13th, we made money. Great, beautiful. Coming on the Thursday, when it's trending, lost money. But regardless, the markets have very different behavior each and every day. That we want to stay on top of it. To have the same outcome that you did in April, month over month, is very, very tough. He didn't have a single losing day. We're going to have losing days, and that's well and fine. That's going to happen. And he knows that. We all know that. Just a matter of that next red day. Not letting it consume you, and also not just overriding that high of always being right. Because even myself, as of lately, I'm not on a hot streak by any means. I'm probably on the colder side of not really feeling super hot about my reads. I feel like they're the same reads that they were a month ago, and they may just be, but the outcomes are a little bit different, or they're not as easy, or I'm having to work for it more, and maybe I'm less willing to work for it. I'm pulling through drawdown, I'm tightening stops, whatever the case may be. It's not going to just keep up. Well, I had a 27-day win streak in December. No one cares. We're in May now, buddy. Wake it up. What do we need to do to make the proper adjustments moving forward? Because the trading is never done. There's never a finish line. There's never a magic strategy that's all figured out. You just print it every single day. There's always discretion involved that you're building, getting better at, more market experience, all these different things, right? Even this VWAP, you could say. This starter week VWAP is probably like a month old at best. So maybe a few more months with that, I could be finding a little bit more better clean reads. But regardless, it's all about having that, almost that data to lean back on of saying, yeah, I'm hitting a little bit of a dry spell here. What is wrong with me? Well, go back to the report cards like I was saying. Let's just pretend this was mine. On the 6th and the 7th, what did I do? Why did I take that trade? I know better than that, but I really like the trade I followed it up with, off my key level, break of key VWAP, in trend, nice. But on the 7th, I took 15 trades. Anytime I take more than 4, that's just a disaster. So yeah, I may be over trading this month. Okay, cool. I know what to do for next month or next week, right? You got to almost give yourself like a pep talk of, okay, I found the answers short term of what I want to work on next, because I'm always going to have to be working at this, always having to get a little bit better. Let me go find what I need to go get better at. I'm always looking to want to learn, right? That's the first thing I almost say to everyone that comes into the Blackshirt Club If you want to learn and you want to get better, the group is for you, and you're going to do really great in it, because the best people in it that find the most success or the quickest success, they're just hungry to learn. They just want to ask all the questions they can. They're like, sorry for bothering you. What do you think about this? I'm like, you're not bothering me. Or if anything, you should bother me. You should be wanting to get as much out of this, ask as many questions, learn as much about yourself, the strategy, always ebb and flow with it as your results will. So if you guys found value in it, and Troy is crushing it. So big shout out to him. Sorry if I exposed your stats here, buddy, but I don't think it's embarrassing. You're crushing it. So there's nothing really to be ashamed of, but the markups. Got to get back on those DRCs, as we all do. But yeah, final note. Obviously, great months here, as we all hopefully have months like this at least once a quarter or once a year. But always be looking to learn. Always looking to get a little bit better. Stay long-term pictured. And always look to just learn as you go, right? April was really hot. Why am I now taking red days? It's natural. We're going to take losses. Just don't let them be too big. So if you guys found value in that, leave a like, leave a comment. What videos do you guys want to see next? Do you like videos like this more about psychology and approach and setup and process? Or do you also like the trade recaps, daily recaps, drawn on TradingView, all that fun stuff? But I appreciate it, each and every one of you, for always tuning in. And I'll see you guys on the charts tomorrow morning.